మౌస్ ఏమన్నా ఉందా లేదా? క్లిక్ లైవ్ మీటింగ్ ఓకేనా? ఇదేనా నోటిఫికేషన్? లైవ్ వచ్చేసిందా? మౌస్ పని చేస్తుందేమో. ఓకే, స్టార్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, right. So today our topic is Node.js. So Node.js majorly it is called as a powerful tool. So simply we will discuss about JavaScript libraries. So yesterday, so we have discussed about HTML and C JavaScript and some of the applications we have seen, and we have got the complete idea of how to build the HTML tags and how to handle the form request and how to handle the form data. And after retrieving the form data, so we have already displayed in a console and we have displayed in the alert boxes. So, as I told you yesterday, so the project is completely divided into three types, right? So, project completely divided into three types. So, that is nothing but front end. That is nothing but front end and next middleware, and next nothing but back end. So this was we discussed in the earlier. So as a front-end technologies, already we have discussed something about HTML, HTML and JavaScript. We have discussed JavaScript. We have discussed. So what is the problem with the JavaScript is? So by using the JavaScript, okay, so we can able to perform the operations. We can able to perform the operations and interoperabilities, is interoperabilities and some operations and some manipulation, as well as validations also we can use. Validations also we can use. So majorly, all these tasks are done by the JavaScript. All these tasks done by the JavaScript, right? So all these tasks are done by the JavaScript, so which is completely depends on the browser. So why? Because JavaScript is interpreted by the browser. Interpreted by the browser. So the browser is nothing but client-side software. Browser is nothing but client-side software. So a browser is able to perform all these tasks which are from the JavaScript. So most of the content or most of the data can modified by humans. So most of the data are available at the client side, and that can easily modify or change the behavior, and we can change the behavior. So 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 this change behavior and modify behavior. Hello. Join in on left. Okay, done. So we can modify or change the behavior at client side, at client side, at client side. So that will cause you, so insecurity some of the times. That will cause you insecurity. That will cause you insecurity. It will cause you insecurity. It will cause you insecurity. So to overcome this insecurity, to overcome this insecurity, so we are going to execute. So basically, JavaScript functions and JavaScript tags are processed at the browser side. Are processed at the browser side. So the JavaScript tags, JavaScript tags are interpreted by the browser, interpreted by the browser. So if JavaScript tags are interpreted by the browser, so this will cause you the problems. This will cause you the problem. So that is the reason why. So we are not going to use the JavaScript tags interpreted by the browser. So we are going to remove the interpretation at the browser side. So instead of interpretation and instead of execution in the browser, so we are going to use server side. We are going to use server side scripting. We are going to use server side scripting. So instead of client side scripting, so we should able to develop an application so which provide the server side scripting. So that is the reason why. So Node.js are directly in Node.js directly interpret the JavaScript at server side. So that is the main theme of Node.js. So again, so Node.js is nothing but, so Node.js is nothing but, so we can say the all the JavaScript code can be run. So all the JavaScript code can be run in the server side. So to run the JavaScript tags in the server side, so we are going to use Node.js. We are going to use Node.js. So what is a Node.js? So Node.js is nothing but, so it is a powerful open source. It is a powerful open source and cross-platform, cross-platform, cross-platform. So runtime environment, runtime environment, runtime environment for JavaScripts, for JavaScripts. So JavaScripts. So it is a powerful. So Node.js is a powerful. So and open source and a cross-platform runtime environment for the so JavaScript tags. So that means all the JavaScript tags. That means all the JavaScript tags are executed at the server. So all the JavaScript, all the JavaScript tags are executed. Tags are executed at the server, at the server side, at the server side. So we should able to we should able to execute all the servers JavaScript tags are executed in the server side, so that so we can avoid so browser interpretation. So we can avoid browser interpretation. We can avoid browser interpretation. And why Node.js? Node.js is easy to use. Node.js easy to configure, easy to install and easy to configure, easy to configure, and it supports multiple API function. It support multiple API function. So it support multiple. So it supports multiple API functions we can use. 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 So more than this. So Node.js supports. Node.js supports NPM. So NPM. So module Node PM. So Node.js comes with Node.js comes with Node.js comes with NPM. So NPM stands for Node Package Manager. So Node Package Manager. Node Package Manager. So meaning is so it contains third-party libraries. It contains what? Third-party libraries. It contains what? Third-party libraries. Third-party libraries. So clear something. So we are going to use a JavaScript at server side. So that means so all the JavaScript tags are executed in the server itself, and we are avoiding the browser side interpretation. So that is the reason why. So we are inventing this. We are using the Node.js. Why Node.js is important? Because it is an open source, powerful open source and cross platform. So what is the meaning of open source? So we'll come to that. So powerful open source and cross platform runtime environment for the JavaScript tags. All these JavaScript tags are executed in the server, so not in the browser. So that means we have to maintain a server, we have to maintain a server for that. So we will come to that. What is a server and which server we are going to use, and how it look like exactly. So we'll come to that. And coming to the next point. So completely we avoid the browser integration and browser interpretation. Sorry, and Node.js easy to install and easy to configure. And after that, so it supports multiple API functions. So we can use any of the open source APIs as well as paid APIs also as per the client requirement, as per our requirement. And come to the next point. So Node.js come with the default utility that is called as Node Package Manager. So by using this, we can able to use multiple modules. So which are third-party libraries are. So meaning is so any software is nothing but any software is nothing but it's a collection of bundles. So the bundles are available as part of the modules. The modules are available from the Node.js. So those modules can easily configure or easily install by using the npm. So it support third-party libraries also. So this is about Node.js introduction, the definition of the Node.js. So the Node.js is a open source. So what is the meaning of open source? So open source is nothing but the source code of the Node.js is freely available so that anyone can easily download it according to the requirement. So we can modify. So that is the main theme of open source. And it is a crash platform. What is the crash platform? The crash platform is nothing but so we can use this Node.js in any of the operating system, in any of the platform. Like so we have Windows, we have Linux, we have Mac OS. So any of the system and any of the operating system, so we can easily use this Node.js. So without modifying the data format. So basically Node.js supports universal format like JSON. Node.js supports a universal format like JSON. So JSON is the universal format for almost all the programming languages as well as all the scripting languages. So that the flexibility and the usability of this technology, so we very high. So coming to the next part, coming to the next part. So Node.js. So what is the Node.js and why it is important and how to start with the Node.js with the perfect example. So we will discuss. So before Node.js, so what is the process and what is the exactly happens in the background? So we are going to discuss that. So generally, so if you observe, so what is input and output, and how that data is going to be travel? So from starting to ending, and so what is the basic structure of the input and output no, process we need to consider. So when you observe, so we have the input devices here. So like keyboard, mouse, and microphone, as well as something or etc. devices. So from these devices, so we will get the input data. So we will get the input data. And after getting the input data, so we are going to process it by using the CPU or ALU or control unit. Like after completion of the processing, so we are going to send the out to the devices like monitor or printer or speaker or network, whatever it is. And if I want to store the data, so we will use the hard disk. Already we know this process. So this is the traditional process, and the data is traveled from how that travel from input devices to output devices. So coming to the next point. So already, Node.js we have started. So what is Node.js? Node.js is nothing but it's just a runtime environment for the JavaScript tags. Runtime environment for the JavaScript tags. But why JavaScript is not good at client side? So there are some restrictions here. So JavaScript is obviously a dynamic programming language. So dynamic programming language means, so it is nothing but, so if I want to change the content in the HTML, so I can modify by using the JavaScript. If I want to provide some interaction with the user, so with efficiently, I'll use the JavaScript. So that is about a dynamic programming language. And it is a client-side script to interact with the users. As I told you, nothing but, as I told you, nothing but. So JavaScript is a client-side interpretation language. So that it is mostly commonly used of web browser. Mostly commonly used as part of a web browser. So this is the Node.js was invented by Randall. So inspired to create a Node.js after seeing because he's struggling. So while uploading the files by using the some application called as a Flickr. So he went out from the college and he started invented Node.js. Basically, Node.js runs on V8. What is V8 here? So V8 is a JavaScript interpretation engine. JavaScript engine, we can call it. So without this engine, so we are not able to uh, interpret the scripts in the server side or client side. So this Node.js runs on V8. So V8 is a JavaScript execution engine or JavaScript engine, so which runs in a server, which runs in a server. So as I told you, the Node.js is nothing but a just open source and class platform environment for server side application. So it can be running Linux or Mac or OS or whatever it is. And it is also provide event driven architecture and non-blocking IO operations. So that will give you the better performance when we develop the application. When we develop the application, so it provides the event-driven architecture as well as non-blocking input and output operations. So the means we can fastly interact with the users and we can fastly perform the tasks from the database, fetching or database insertion or database storing database modifications. So anything, so directly we can go to, so without interrupt anything. So as I told you that Node.js will completely run on JavaScript V8 engine. So this is from a Google. This is from a Google, and this is used to interpret the JavaScript code into the so HTML web pages, and dynamic content will be changed. So without the software, so we cannot able to execute the JavaScript tags the server side. So basically this V8 engine, so V8 engine is a C++ application. So it completely developed in C++ language. So we know that C++ is a very native language, and it is a powerful language. And coming to the why we need to use Node.js, the Node.js goal is to provide an easy way to build a scalable network programs. So by using Node.js, so we can able to develop multiple application. That application should be scalable, and that application should be easy to develop, and that application should be fastly we can develop, and that application should be interact with any of the programming languages. Like also, it will give you the universal format of the data, right? So using JavaScript on a server side, so it will make the communication between the client and server will happen in the same language. So as I told you that, so the Node.js completely works in JSON format. So JSON format is just like nothing but so you can see the output here. So how the JSON format look likes. Okay, so I'll draw some JSON data here so that you will get a clarity about it. So next, so open and close within this, within this. So we have the key. So the key can be anything format, like suppose let us assume, so name, so name something, so user, so user one, so user one, so comma, next, like email, so email, and after that some space I would like to give. So email. So next, so this would be in string format, comma. Next, so let us assume this is the JSON format. So user one at the date gmail.com, and comma. So address. So let us assume address. So address. Okay. So address. Next, some mobile. So mobile. Mobile. Mobile number like 91235678 something, right? So this is nothing but JSON format. So this is nothing but JSON format. So this is how the data will be available in the Node.js. So JSON format we can see. JSON format, simply this JSON format contains the two things. So one is a key and one is a value. So key and value. So key and value. So value instead of value, so we can say it is an object. So key object and value object. Key object and value object. So this is so values object, and this is key object, and this is key object, and this is key object, right? So this is a JSON format. The same format will be used by multiple technologies like So you can take any Python, or you can take any Java, or you can take any PHP. So you can take any HTML, you can take a JavaScript, you can take a JavaScript, and you can take Node.js. You can take like MongoDB. So MongoDB, as well as you can take Angular. So Angular and Express.js, like that. There are so many. Technologies are available. So which uses the same. So which uses the same format, like the JSON format. So that is the reason why. So JSON format is nothing but like a universal format. So any language, so we can communicate. So why we need to use this format is it's so easy to communicate and easy to transfer the data from any language to another language. Suppose nowadays everything we will work on the APIs. So everything is available on the web services. So we need to concentrate on the web service format also. So this JSON format mostly used in web services, web services. Web service. So this format basically used in web services. So web service is nothing but the service available on the web. So which can be we can get from the internet. So we can done with the work fastly. Okay, right. So coming to the point again. So why Node.js uniqueness. What is the uniqueness of the Node.js? So why we need to use and what is the unique? Why we need to use this? So easy to understand and easy to develop and fast development application. And by using this, so we can develop the scalable network program. So what is the scalable network programs? The scalable means also which is a rich kind of application. So by using this, also we can provide the particular format for the project. So like that, so easy to connect and easy to establish the connection. And what is the unique feature of the Node.js? By using this Node.js, so we can able to communicate with multiple languages. As I told you, so multiple languages. So it supports a JSON format. So by using this JSON format, so we have the key and value object. We have the key and value object. So that so we can communicate from Python to Java, or Java to Python, or PHP to HTML, and Node to MongoDB, or Angular to Express, from any language to any language. So we can easily communicate and we can easily transfer the data from one language to another language. Suppose if I have a requirement, so if I want to get the data from the API, so API directly will give you the JSON format of data. So that directly we can use the data and we can process here and we can able to provide the better output according to our requirement. And it also support the event driven. So event driven means so there are so many event handling functions in the HTML, like on click, on submit, on mouse error, mouse up, mouse click, on select, on down, on up. Like that, there are so many event handling functions are available in the HTML and JavaScript. In the same way, so we have the same event like server events, so not client side events. The server event based request we can handle by using this Node.js. And it provides the simultaneous, like so it will never wait for the request importance. So next, it is very lightweight and fast. So and easy to configure and it supports Node.js. So first of all, so we need to install the Node. How to install? So when you go to the Google, so you can directly download the Node.js. So first, before you download, you just verify whether Node.js is installed or not. So for that, you need to start the command prompt. For that, you need to start the command prompt. So just go to the command prompt. After no go to the command prompt, so just type node. So when you encounter this problem, so node is not recognized as internal and external command. So that means Node.js is not installed in this software. So next, I would like to install the Node.js. I would like to install the Node.js. To install the Node.js, to install the Node.js, so we have to download Node.js software from the Google. Download from the Google. So just a thing here. So Node.js download. So Node.js download. So we'll have the official website called as nodejs.org. Nodejs.org. So when you open this, you will get so like this version. So you will get this is the home page and the download option. So we have and the package manager. So we will discuss what is package manager and pre-built installer and pre-built binaries and source code. So you can download the source code of the Node.js, which is completely developed in the native language like C++ language. Okay, so done. So next, I would like to install package manager, or you can use the public installer. So anything is fine. So package manager, and so if you want to package manager and installer, so we have the installer for couple of versions. So LTS and current. What is LTS? So long time support. So any softwares come with some expiration, but it is a long time support. The version called as 22.12 and 0, and we have the current version 23.5. So let us take some better experience. I'll choose the older version, 1820.5. So I'll choose the Windows here. I'll choose the Windows here, and I'll go for the 64-bit operating system. 64 operating system. So just I'll click on the download Node.js. So you can find out in fraction of second the Node.js software is downloaded there. Okay. So next, so after downloading the Node.js, so simply double click on the software. So because it is an installer, you can easily uh, install by using a double click. So I am clicking on the double just so this setup wizard installed Node.js on your computer. So this is the license. This is the license. You don't need to do anything. Just click on I accept the terms and conditions. Okay. So next. So Node.js by default is installed the following folder. So C drive, program files, and Node.js. So if you want, you can change, but I'll not change anything here. So just click on the next button. So if you want to, you can choose any of the options like Node.js runtime, core pack manager, npm package manager, online documentation, add path. So you can select anything. It's not a issue. So I'll continue with the Node.js runtime and next button. So I no need to change anything. Just click on next button again and install. Okay. So the server and the Node.js will be installed automatically. So wait for the installation is completed. After installation, so we need to talk about Node.js version, Node.js, how to open the Node.js and etc. and permission. So Microsoft installer. So it is installing it. Yeah. So installation is completed. So click on the finish button. So after that, go to the command prompt again. After installation is completed, so just go to the command prompt and just type node. just type node. So in the earlier, so we got the information like node is not recognized as internal and external command, but now so it is not giving the error. So it is information about welcome to Node.js, the version 18.20.5. So next, so the node is successfully installed. The node is successfully installed. That can be verified by using the node, as well as you can also type version v, version v, hyphen version v. So it will give you the version name. So 1825, 1825. So after this node successfully completed, installation completed, so you can able to perform the operations in the Node.js. So simply, I think all of you have the Python experience. So in the Python, directly from the command line itself, also we can able to perform the operations in the same way, in the same pattern. So simple. I'll check whether Python is available or not. So just here the Python is available. Suppose I will enter so 10 plus 20. So it will give you the output. If I enter some 30 in 3 into 5, it will give you the output. So like that, in the same way, like Python, in the same way, so we have multiple options. We have the same feature in the Node.js. We have the same feature in the Node.js. For that, so you have to enter node. You have to enter node and click on the button. You have to enter and click on the button. So I'll type same operation like 10 plus 20. So it will give you the 30. Suppose let us assume, so I'll use some calculation. So 2 into 35. So it will give you the 35. Suppose I would like to write a function name. So function name print, function name print. So open the function, and within this function just write something like console dot log, console dot log something welcome message, something welcome message, and function close. So I can print the function also. So print function. So welcome message are displayed here. Welcome message displayed here. So this is called as so from the console itself. So we can able to perform the node operation. We can perform the node operation. So this is called as REPL environment in Python. Node.js REPL. So what is the term REPL? REPL. So what is REPL? So we'll discuss what is REPL. So read, write, sorry, we have here, this is called as REPL. So R for read, R for read, R for read, E for evaluation, evaluation, and P for printing, paper printing, and helper looping, helper loop. So the for loop also we can define. Suppose for so variable I equals to 0, I less than equals less than like 3, I plus plus, I plus plus, and some console dot console dot log of I, console dot of I. So close the function. So it will give you 0 to 0 to 2, 0, 1, 2. So this is about looping also. So we can able to write in the console itself. So this is generally called as REPL mechanism. REPL mechanism. So we can able to read, we can able to read, and we can able to evaluate, we can able to evaluate, and we can able to print, and we can able to perform the loops. So this is called as REPL. This is called as REPL. So read, evaluation, printing, and looping. So the same mechanism in Python also, that is a console based. So we call it as a CLA. We call it as CLA, command line interface mechanism. So but here also we can do the same thing by using the node to perform this operation. To perform this operation, so simply we can type node. So first of all, we should open the command prompt. First of all, we should open the command prompt. So from the command prompt, so you just write node command. You just write node command and enter. You just write node command and enter. So after writing the node command, so you can perform the all the operation like arithmetic operation as well as some multiplication operator, and as well as you can use some division operator. You can use some division operator, or you can write some functions also. You can write some function. The function name is a print hi message. So print hi. So open the function. So within the function, I can write as a console.log. So welcome to so welcome message. So welcome message. So welcome to Node.js. Welcome to so Node.js from from kite, and after that I'll close the function. After closing the function, I can call the function. So print hi. So it will give you the hints also by default. So I am just writing a so print here. So print hi message. So print hi function. So print hi function is nothing but like started with a small letter, and hi is nothing but H capital letter. So it is a case sensitive. So Node.js is a case sensitive. So just write print I function. So you no need to type entire the statement. So it will give you hints and suggestions in the Node.js by default. So when I call this function, so directly it will give you the function information. If I call the function with the parenthesis, so it will give you the output which is available in the function. So it's going to be called by default. So observe here. So this is nothing but function information. This is nothing but information. So we can call it as a metadata. We can call it a metadata. So print hi is a function, and which going to return something information. So this is nothing but function calling. So when we use the parenthesis, so this is nothing but a function calling. So it's going to be installed. Sorry, it's going to be called and executed and got the output according to the function. So this is about node introduction. So what is the conclusion? What is the theme? And what is the points about the Node.js? So Node.js is a powerful tool, and it is a RAS platform and open source runtime environment for server-side script engine. So server-side script engine, so which runs server-side scripts, which runs server-side scripts, and basically this Node.js completely work on the Chrome V8. So as we discussed, Chrome V8, as we discussed Chrome V8. Chrome V8, right. So we can observe. So Chrome V8 engine. So Chrome V8, so engine. So JavaScript, and so this Node.js completely works on so V8 engine. So it is application from the Google. So it is developed in C++ language. So it support no SQL. It support no SQL and easy to configure. So just like download from the official website, that is called as nodejs.org, nodejs.org, and we'll go to the download option, and we'll go to the pre-built installer and we'll choose the version according to our requirement. So I have taken 18.20.5, and you can choose the operating system here. After choosing the operating system, you can check the processor based on your laptop and system. And after that, you can click on the download button. The software is going to be download. After downloading it, you just double click on the uh, file. So it will open the pop-up. After the pop-up, the software installation is completed. So once the software is installation is completed, so you can able to access Node.js environment by using the command prompt. So just open and command prompt and just type node hyphen v. So it will give you the version. Suppose if I want to know the sub of the commands and what are the information, so just type node hyphen h. So h for alpha. So it will give you the information about it will give you the information about the Node.js option. So there are so many like about build hyphen C, hyphen CPU, profession. So like that, there are so many options are available. So if you want, you can open this help command and you can see the output. You can see the output. So next. So this is how we need to install and configure the Node.js. So why we need to use this Node.js? Why we need to use the Node.js? So that is the main point. So next. So Node.js mainly used for callback asynchronous mechanism. Callback asynchronous mechanism. So what is callback and what is callback? The callback is nothing but so it is just like a function calling. After function is executing, so it will give you the problematic issue. So in general programming languages, so we'll have the functions. We'll have the functions. So just observe here. Just observe here. So let us assume this is a function. I'll write some simple function here. So function. So function name is nothing but say or fetch data, like fetch info is the function. So let us assume this is the function. And so let us assume this function contains some state. So statement one and statement two, statement two, and statement three, like that. There are, let us assume there are so many statements are available. Okay. Like that, there are so many statements are available, and finally, I'll conclusion with the statement. Yeah, right. So this is the function. This is the function. So when I call this function, so I'll use some function name folder as fetch info. Fetch info. I'll call this function. I call the function. This is nothing but calling the function. So this is nothing but calling the function. Calling the function. So when I call this function will go to the definition. Function calling will go to the definition. If the definition is available, it will execute statement one and the statement two, statement three, statement 4, 5, 6, like that. N statements will be executed. After execution of all the statement, so if I want to again start function execution, or if I want to start any new function calling and etc. So we should call again. We should call again. So after execution of this function is completed, after execution of this function is completed, so it will not perform any task. It will not perform any task. So this is nothing but synchronous programming. Synchronous programming. So when it is have asynchronous programming, after completion of the function calling, so it will perform another task. It will perform another task. The task may be anything. Again, function calling, or again a particular data fetching, or data retrieving, or data storing, anything. So task may be anything. So after completion of the function, so in the normal and traditional program, so it will not perform any particular stuff until unless user interact. So but so callback mechanism is nothing but after function calling is completed. So after function is executed completed, so it will perform the given task. It will perform the given task. So Node makes heavy use of callbacks. So Node.js is mainly used for the callbacks. So completely uses the callbacks. So here, so by using this, so we can avoid the blocking the I. We are using the blocking I. So you can observe this diagram. You can observe this diagram. So traditional application wait for set code to complete before it displayed the content. So it is called as blocking code. So that means, so there are so many requests. There are so many requests. So from this request, so there is a multiple threads. There are multiple threads to handle this request. To handle this request, all threads are available in the thread pool. All the threads are available in the thread pool. So from the first request, it will directly go to the database operation. So if it is single request, again it will directly go to the database operation. So here the task is nothing but database operation. Here the task is nothing but database operation. So if it is one request, is completely work fine. But it comes to the two request or multiple request, so one thread will go to the database, and another thread will be wait. Another threads will be wait. So this is called as blocking. So the threads are waiting until and unless another threads is complete the task. Another threads complete the task. So that is the reason why. So user have to wait a particular time. User have to wait a particular time. So when it is non-blocking IO, when it is non-blocking IO, so it will use the event loop. It will use the event loop. So from the event loop, so it will handle only single thread. No multiple threads are available. So only single thread. So Node.js completely works on single thread. Node.js completely works on single thread. So that means, so there are multiple threads, and there are uh, there is no multiple threads, and there is no waiting time here. So just if it is one request or two requests or multiple requests, so directly it will go to the event loop, and single thread will allocate the asynchronous threads. So it will not wait for a task is completed. So it always ready to handle the new request. So that means, so it will never wait. It will never wait, and it completely works on single thread. That means all the memory is given to the single thread. The memory efficient and performance efficient will be high, and the performance will be high. So that is the reason why. So we use Node.js. We use Node.js to avoid non-blocking input-output operation. So Node.js completely works on single thread. So that I can say Node.js is a runtime environment for the JavaScript execution at the server side, JavaScript execution at the server side. So it is completely runtime environment in the server, and it is totally avoid the browser side interpretation, and it is very lightweight component. So what I can say so about Node.js? So Node.js is nothing but simply I can say it's a powerful and cross-platform open source technology for runtime environment to run the JavaScript at the server side. And it is completely uses single thread mechanism, completely uses single thread mechanism. So that means all the memory will be allocated to the single thread itself, so that the performance wise is very fast and easy to configure and easy to install and easy to write the programs also, as we have seen the earlier. So directly we can work with that. And moreover, so Node.js come with Node.js come with event driven. So event driven application. So like the JavaScript events on the client, whatever the on click and on mouse, over on mouse, so drop on key up, key down, like events are there. So there are server events are also available. For those server events are also we have the application like file transfer, request for the resource file, and loading the data from the database. So these are the example events for the server. So for these events also, so we have the event-driven application manipulation. Okay, so this is possible in using the so event loop. So single thread, you can observe the diagram. So request and etc. So when it comes to the request, so it will handle the event loop mechanism. So when single thread will go to the register into the database after operation is completed, so trigger callback again. So this is callback mechanism. So the register callback and operation is completed. Once the operation is completed again, so trigger for the callback for the next target and the next request to be considered. And as we know that, so REPL terminal. So REPL terminal, as we have seen earlier, so reads the input data as well as process into data structure and stores in a memory. So this is how we use the REPL terminal. So simple. Starting with the REPL, so you have to write node command from the command prompt. So expressions, so we can use simple expression like arithmetic expression, as well as some functions. Also you can write like by using the command prompt, just enter node, and after that you can perform the any operator. You can perform the any operator, or you can write any function here, write any function here. So do something function. So function name or something. So do is not token. So it is identifier. So you should not use the do here. So do work. So do work is our function. So do work is our function. So you can write anything. So console dot log, console dot log, and so within this I can write so project, so development or something. So project development, project development. So close the function again, and after that you can print. So do work, when you type only do work, so without any parameter, so it will give you information. So do work. So do work. So W is a capital, and we have called with a small letter. So Node.js is a case sensitive. So you have to write. So do work. So when you write a simple, so without any parenthesis, so it will give you the information. So if I want to display the data and execute the function, so you have to write the parenthesis. So this is called as REPL terminal. So read, evaluation, printing, and loops. So loops also we can use. And there are some commands. There are some REPL commands. So which use it to manipulate the operations, or which use it to work with the command line interpretation. So Control C for the terminate the current command, terminal keys twice for the no termination. So Control D for the no termination of REPL, and upon key sir for the like normal tab keys also we can use, and help for list of all the option, and break from the multiple lines, and clear also we can use. So if I want to save the file, you can use the dot save and file name we can use. And if I want to load the content, suppose if I have the separate external file, separate external file. So if I want to load into the REPL terminal also, you can load by using the load option. If I want to save after terminal is completed, if I want to save that information, that code into the another file, you can also use some option called as dot save. And come to the NPM. So NPM is nothing but Node Package Manager. So NPM is nothing but Node Package Manager. So which is very, very important thing in the Node.js. Which is very, very no important thing in the Node.js. So Node Package Manager is a tool which is given by the Node.js, and by using this tool and by using this information, so we can able to install multiple modules. Suppose, so actually, so npm is nothing but so powerful tool in Node.js. Okay, so npm, so Node Package Manager, Node Package Manager, Node Package. So Node Package Manager is a tool, so that will install, and this will use it to configure, import and export, right? Suppose, so JavaScript, suppose let us assume JavaScript files. So what is Node.js? The Node.js is just a runtime environment to run the JavaScript files, right? So JavaScript files contain script tags. When we have this JavaScripts, generally in Node.js, we call it as modules. We call it as modules. What are the modules? Modules is nothing but a file. Module or nothing but a file. File. A file which consists of statements. Consists of statements. So generally called as node statements. Node.js statement. Node.js statements. Node.js statements. Okay. Node.js statements. These are all modules. Okay. So this is about Node.js modules. So in any programming languages, like if you have the Python, so let us take a Python. So in Python also we have the couple of modules like math module, math module, and OS module, and something matplotlib module, matplotlib module. So in Python, so we have mock and OS and matplotlib, etc. So these are all modules from the Python. In the same way, so in Node.js also, in Node.js also, so we have couple of modules. We have couple of modules. So some of the modules are HTTP, some of the modules are HTTP, and some of the modules are Express, and Mongoose, and OS, and OS, and FS, etc., etc. So these are the Node.js modules. These are the Node.js modules. These are the Node.js modules. Okay, these are the Node.js modules. These modules contains statements. This module contains statements. So these modules are available directly, and some of the modules will be installed by using this npm. So if I want to install anything, so we will use one command called as pip. So Python installer, we will use pip. So pip install and module name. Pip install and module name. So in the same way, so in order to install work with Node.js, so I need to install the modules by using npm. So npm install module name. npm install module name. npm install module name. So like pip. So in Node.js, we have npm here. So Node package manager is used to install the modules, as well as uninstall the modules, So npm uninstall module name. So according to the requirement, so we are going to install the modules and we are going to uninstall the module. So if I want to work with some HTTP module, so actually it speaks we need to install the HTTP module. If I want to work with Express module, so I would like to install Express. If I want to work with MongoDB, I need to install Mongoose. If I want to work with a file management system, I need to install FS module. So these modules generally called as free modules and core modules. So you no need to directly explicitly specify about this module. We will discuss exactly what are the modules we are going to use. So as per our syllabus, we are going to use HTTP module. We are going to use Express module, and we are going to use some Mongoose module, and we are going to use FS module. Right, we'll come to that model installation and etc information, but by using this npm only, so we can install and we can configure third party modules. We can install and we can configure third party modules. So what are the third party modules? So we can have a lot of libraries, third party modules, so which are not from the officially Node.js officially Node.js, which are not from officially Node.js. So any module you can use as a from the third-party libraries. So that in order to install the third-party module, so we need to use npm node package manager. It is a powerful tool, so which manage the all the modules in Node.js, which manage the all the module in the Node.js. So simple. So NPM easy for developer to say the reuse code and make it easy to upgrade. So NPM functionalities. So what NPM can do? So NPM can open the online repositories and it can able to read and write information. And coming to the command line utility, so we can able to export to the command line information also, and we can able to install the particular modules. We can install the particular module. So if I want to work with Express.js, I need to install Express module by using this npm. And version management, so it will manage the all the versions along with the information, and it will manage the dependency. So whatever the dependency modules are required, so automatically it will find out and it will install automatically. So coming to the point, npm version. So if you want to know the version of node package manager, so you can find out that information. So npm version is different and node version is different. So when I open this command prompt, so you can observe the both the things. Suppose node -v, so it will give you the node version and node js version. So suppose if you enter so npm version, so it will give you the so npm version, so it is about 10.8.2, so like that. Right. Coming to the topic, so node version and as well as npm versions are different. Okay, so npm contains lot of libraries, so you can observe here. So node version is different as well as npm version is different. So node is part of npm. Okay, right. Like that. So this is about version checking, and we have the installing the module. Suppose if I want to work with Express.js, you have to install Express module here. You have to install Express module here, and we will discuss what is Express.js exactly and why we need to use the Express module. And coming to the how we can what are the two ways to have to install the module. So one is local installation and another one is a global installation. So what is the local installation? What is the global installation mean? So by using Node.js, by using Node.js, we can have the facility to store our project into the local system as well as in the global. So what is the use of the global installation? So directly we can use also without configuring multiple systems. Like suppose let us assume we have a company and we have a team. So with 20 or 30 systems, and all the team members are using the same software and the same modules. So in 30 systems, so you don't need to install. So by directly by using a single system, you are able to store in the global package, so that directly we can use all of them. So that is the advantage of this Node.js. So to connected team directly we can use. So that is the advantage of local installation and global installation. The local installation, nothing but just a package installation and node module. And we have a command called as require. So require is a command to import the package. So import the package. So already we have the traditional programming languages, right? So we have Python and we have Java. So how we are going to import? So just to see an example. So suppose let us assume if I want to import the module, if I want to import the module, we will just write in Java. We will just write so import java.io package. So this is nothing but importing. This is nothing but importing. So if I want to work with so from Python, so if I want to work with matplotlib, so from matplotlib, so from matplotlib, so we can import pyplot. We can import pipeline. So we can import pipeline. So this is also nothing but importing the package. So this is nothing but importing the packages or modules in the Java and Python. So in Node.js, if I want to import the modules, so just we will use a require. We will use require. So by using this require, so we can import the module. We can import the module. So within this require, so we have to mention about the module name. We have to mention about the module name. Okay, so import java.io from matplotlib, import flyplot. So like the same like in Java and Python, so we can also import the modules by using the require. So this is the real usage of so require. So require is a command which is used to import the module. So we can install locally and we can install globally. So when it is installed in globally, directly we can use from any of the systems, so without configuring local manager. And coming to the next point, uninstalling module and updating the module. So we can able to search the module also for separately. So we have couple of commands here. So we have uninstall command for uninstalling the module, and we have the update command so to update the module, and we have the search command to search the module also. So by using this command, so we can able install, uninstall, update, and search. So basically, if I want to search a particular module which is installed or not, so directly we can go for testing by using the search command. And if I want to modify the version and if I want to modify the model name, so directly you can go for the update command. And if I want to uh, uninstall and if I want to remove the module, so which is no use, so directly you can use uninstall command. And coming to the buffer, so how Node.js uses buffer? So it is an input operation. It is used in input and output operation. So suppose if anything will send to the customer or will send to the browser, uh, it will maintain some buffer and stream. Actually, it will maintain some buffer and stream. So if it is a, buffer, so it will wait for the so another word will be another task will be added to the first one. So until unless it will combine the data, until unless it merge the data from all the data sources, so it will wait for the system. So that will nothing but buffering. So we have the streams. The streams will nothing but so soon it so it will divide into data chunks. It will divide into data chunks, and the data chunks are collected, and after that, so immediately it will send to the customer again. All the data chunks are collected at the client side, so without waiting and without the processor, without interfering in the server. The server will send the continuous data chunks to the client, so client will accept all the data chunks and it will combine at the client side, so that it will reduce the burden of the uh, it will reduce the burden of the server and process, right? There are types of streams, right? Readable, writable, and duplex and transform. So transform is nothing but like it will take the based on the output. So it will so sorry, based on the input it will give you the output after processing it, so it will provide the response. So simply I can say, so most of the website uses the http protocol, like, so we have the request and we have the response. So it will read the request data. After reading all the request data, so directly it will send the response. That response is nothing but also transformation. So we can call it as transformation. So according to the input, it will prepare and it will compute the output. Okay. So next to duplex, the duplex is nothing but so like manipulation. The manipulation both side we can use either read and write. So manipulation is nothing but it's a data manipulation. The data manipulation can we have in file open, file read, and file write, and etc. So that is readable, writable, and duplex. So these are the types of the streams. right, file system by using this Node.js. So we have the a separate module called as a file system. So uh, we should continue. Okay. So before we use the file system, so what is a synchronous and what is asynchronous? So already we have discussed and what is a web server. So we'll come to this part topic. What is a file system and what is the module called as FS. There is two types of so synchronous and asynchronous, so we will come to that exactly. So but before that, so you need to know about something called as web server. Web server. So what is a web server? So web server is a software application which handles the http request, which handles the http request. So what I told you, so Node.js is completely nothing but runtime environment for JavaScript. It is a runtime environment for JavaScript tags which runs in a server. That means we need a server, right? That means we need a server. So that server will use HTTP server. That server will use nothing but HTTP server. The means, the means. So we have to provide and we have to install or we have to configure a server, right? We have to configure a server. So because Node.js is nothing but running the scripts at the server side, running the scripts at the server side. So that means we need a server. So generally we use HTTP server. Generally we use what server? HTTP server. So HTTP server is nothing but which handles the HTTP request and HTTP response. So simply I can say, so to run the Node.js in the server, so to run the Node.js or JavaScript in the server, so Node.js and JavaScript almost are same, but the Node.js is completely meant for a runtime environment for JavaScript execution. That means the same JavaScript code and JavaScript tags are executed in the server side. So that's it. So suppose let us assume we have the JavaScript here. We have the JavaScript here. So this JavaScript code generally executed in the client. So instead of client, we are using the server. We are using the server. So we are not using the client here. We are not using the client here. So we are using the server for JavaScript run. For JavaScript run. That server is nothing but, so we can call it as web server or we can call it as HTTP server. HTTP server. We can call it as web server or HTTP server. So we should have a server. So that server is available in the module called as HTTP. In the module called as HTTP. So HTTP is a one of the core model. HTTP is a one of the core model. One of the core model from Node.js. One of the core model from Node.js. Core module from the Node.js. One of the core module from the Node.js. By HTTP core module, so what we can do? So we can create the server. We can create the server. We can create the server. That server will handle. That server will handle the HTTP request and HTTP response. HTTP request and HTTP response. HTTP response. So what is the main theme? So JavaScript code directly we are running on server. That server we should have in our Node.js environment. So for that we are going to use web server or HTTP server. So web server or HTTP server is available in HTTP module. HTTP module. So HTTP module is a core module, one of the core module of the Node.js, one of the core module of the Node.js, right? So by using HTTP, so we can create the server. So HTTP module contains some of the keywords and functions. Some of the keywords and function. So simply, so I can say simply HTTP module contains some keywords and function. So we have status code, we have status code, we have a right, we have right, we have right, we have right, and we have end function. So before write and end function, so we have create server. We have create server and end function and something. Okay, so we need to discuss what is status code and what is create server. And another function we have set header. Set header. So set header is also another function. So these are the main functions. These are the main functions. So create server, set header. So this is the keyword and the response dot write and response dot end. Okay, so these are the variable line function. These are the variable line functions. So status code, set header, create server, write, end, write, end. So simple. So I will write one example. So that will use the HTTP module. So I'll write one example that will use the HTTP module. Based on this module, so we are going to create the server. Based on the server, so we will handle the request and response, HTML request and response. So HTTP module we are going to use. So that module contains couple of methods and variables here. Couple of methods and variables here. So before we start, so we need some VS Code here, Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code. I'll just open something folder. I'll create a new folder in the desktop. I'll create a new folder in the desktop. Trust the author. So I'll create something app.js. I'll create something called as app.js. The JS is nothing but simple JavaScript file. So .js. Okay. So next, I'll use some constants. I'll use some constant. I'll use some variable HTTP equals to. So we are going to use like so we are going to use HTTP module, right? So HTTP equals to, so we need to import the module. To import the module, so we use require, we'll use require HTTP. So require HTTP module. So we'll use HTTP. So HTTP module. So we'll use HTTP module. So what is required? So require is nothing but to import the module. To import the module. So what is import module? So HTTP module. HTTP module is nothing but what? So it is a predefined module. It is a predefined module. It is a predefined module. So by using this module, so what we can do? So we can able to create the server. We can able to create the server. That server will handle the request, HTTP request and HTTP response. So after creating the variable called as HTTP, after creating the variable called as HTTP, so next we should create the server. To create the server, so we'll have the function in the HTTP module create server. Will have the so function in HTTP module, that is create server. That is create a server. This create server is from a module called as HTTP module. A module called as HTTP module. So what I'll do is simply HTTP dot HTTP dot, I'll use a function called as create server. I'll use a function called as create server. So this function will handle, so this function will handle, so two request. So HTTP request and HTTP response. So that means incoming message as well as so response, incoming message and server response. So that is available in so request comma response, request comma response, request comma response. So now request comma response. So now I'll open the function. I'll open the function. Yeah. So this I will use some variable here. The variable name is constant. The variable name is constant. I'll use some server. The variable name is server. Variable name is server. Right? So within this, I can use a response variable. I can use response variable and uh, and so response variable. So response dot status code equals to 200. So what is status code? What is status code? So basically, suppose let us assume there are some status codes. There are some status codes. 100 plus, 100 plus, 200 plus, 100 plus, 200 plus, 300 plus, 400 plus, and 500 plus, and 500 plus, and 500 plus. These are what status codes. These are what status codes. These are what status codes. First one. The first one is nothing but information. The first one is nothing but information. And the 200 plus means success. The 200 plus means a success. And the 300 plus means redirecting. So 300 plus means redirecting. So 400 means requested resource is not available. Requested resource is not available. Requested resource is not available. It's not available. It's not available. 500 means requested resource is available. Requested resource is available, but it's failed to get execute. But it is failed to get execute. So resource is available, failed to execute. Available, available, but failed to execute. Failed to execute. Failed to execute. So these are the status codes. These are the status codes. So 500 plus, 400 plus, so 300 plus, and so success and redirecting, and 400 means requested resource is not available, and the 500 means available but fails. These are the status codes. So why these status codes are important, and why this status code, and where we can see the, suppose if I accessing any of the website, suppose let us assume something HTTP or something, uh, HTTP and 127 dot So 0 dot 0 dot something. So it will open some website here. So simply, URL contains some multiple file information. So when we access from the internet, you may get 400, or you may get 500, you may get 200, you may get also 100. So most of the times, so we can see only 400 and 500. So most of the time we can see only 400 and 500. So why? Because so browser directly displays 400 plus and 500 plus. So suppose simple, I will write some sample code here. So go to the something vs.code. Suppose let us assume uh, just index.html. So index.html. So I'll write just a statement tag. So just a statement tag here. So doc type. So doc type, doc type, and some HTML. So within the HTML, suppose let us assume body tag directly I'm writing. So body. So within the body, some header tag I'm going to write here. So welcome message, so something message, and after that I would like to execute this program. So new folder and index.html. So welcome message is displayed. So when we open the something developer tools, when we open the developer tools, just a minute, I'll execute this in the Chrome. So welcome message. After that, like, so observe here console and source network. Right. So we will write something. Okay. So import type equals to some text form. Okay. Import type equals to text and name equals to some new name. Some placeholder. Enter user name. The input type equals to button. Value equals to get, and on click is equal to get info. Get info function. So JavaScript I'm going to write here. So after that, some script tag. So function, what is the function name? Get info function, and document dot some forms of zero, or dot some u name, dot value. So new name dot value. So let us take some variable here. So after that, I'll use some alert message. So, okay. Oh, I'll execute the same example. So right, enter username and something data. Okay. This time, so you can see the status code as 200 here. So observe. So 200. So index.xml is executing and 200 is nothing but okay. So this is nothing but status code. So this is nothing but status code, right? So what is the status codes are nothing but so 100, so 200, 300, 400 and 500. So all these are available. So all these are available status codes. All these are available as the status codes, right? So most of the time we'll see 400 plus and 500 plus. So requested resource is not available and available, but it is failed to get executed. So simply, so I am going to back. So status code I am mentioning this here. So 200. The 200 means the status code is success. So 100 means information. 100 means information. So 200 means success and 300 means redirecting and 400 means not available and 500 means available but it's failed to get executed. But why we are writing 200 here? Because so we are developing a script and we are developing the statements which are executed in the server, which are executed in the server. So that is the reason why. So we are mentioning it 200. And another thing is I can mention so set header. So set header is a function. So set header is a function. To this function, so I can specify. So I can specify. So content type. So content type here. So content type. So content type. The content type. So text comma HTML. Content type text comma HTML. Content type is nothing but text slash html, text slash html. So after that you can write so restart writable or write method. So anything you can write. So I'll continue with write. So I'll continue with write. So something. So welcome to so Node.js. Welcome to Node.js. And after that, so you have to write one method that is rest.end. So because it is asynchronous programming, because it is asynchronous programming, it's always wait for the so write this statement. Is always wait for the write statement. So mandatory that you have to write end function. And after all these things you have to use server dot listen method. So you need to specify, you need to specify, you need to specify the port number. So I'll continue with the 300. I'll continue with 300. So listen. So server dot listen, comma. So something. So whether server is so mentioning or not. So we need to specify console dot you need to specify console.log console.log file. So just information. So just I'm going to write server is listening. So server is listening. So server is listening on port number called as and port number 3000 on port number 3000. So right. Right, right. So what we have done, so we have taken the HTTP module, so which is from Node.js, which is a core module from the Node.js. So by importing this HTTP module, so we can able to create the server by using the create server function. By using the create server function. Why we need to create the server? Because By using Node.js, we can execute the JavaScript code. We can execute the JavaScript code in the server. So that is the reason why we should create the server. That is the reason why we should create the server. The server which contains a request, server which contains a request and response, server which contains request and response. And request object is in nothing but read the requested data, and the response is nothing but whatever the data we have to send to the server. So that information we have to set into the response. So that is the reason why the status code I have mentioned to 200. So that means there are some status codes are available, 100 plus, 200 plus, 300 plus, 400 plus, and 500 plus. So 200 plus means a success, 100 plus means what information. So 300 plus means redirecting, and the 400 plus means not available, and the 500 means available but it is not completed. And we have the header information. So as we discussed in the earlier, header information contains like in what are the data is available and what format data is available, how we are going to be interact and how we are able read all the things, everything we can about how page look like. So it is about output. So content type, what is the content type of the output? It is based on the text and HTML. So text slash HTML I am mentioning here. And after that there is a write method, there is a write method, so welcome to Node.js. And there is an end method, so which is completely uh, bottom of the statement of the Node.js. So after writing all the statements, you should call the end function. You should call the end function. And after that, you can have the server dot listen, and 3000 is the port number. You can use any of the port number here. So after that, we have to run the code. So this code is a general, and this code is for basic code of the Node.js, basic code of the Node.js. By using Node.js, we can import the modules, and we can create the server, and we can send the output to the browser, and we can create the ports. The simple. So this code should run on server. This code should run on server. That means we should get the output in browser, right? We should get the output in browser. So how we can able to get the output in browser? So first of all, this program should completely run on server. After running only, we can able to get, right? So in order to execute this program, in order to execute this program, so we should open the terminal. We should open the terminal. From the terminal, from the terminal or command prompt. So I'll select the default, I select the command prompt instead of PowerShell. So from the PowerShell also you can execute, not a problem, but I'll prefer command prompt. So from the command prompt, I'll use node space. I'll use node space. What is the file name? App.js. What is the file name? App.js. So directly, so you can execute the JS file from the server. Suppose let us see. I am entering this. So do you want to allow public and private networks? So allow. So server is listening port number on 3000. Port number on 3000. So server is running. The server is running exactly. But where we can get the output? So when the server is running, so we will get the response to the client. We will get the response to the client. So what is the client here? The client may be nothing but a browser. The client may be nothing but a browser. So what type of browser it is? HTTP. Sir, what type of server it is? HTTP server. So that is the reason why. So we should enter HTTP protocol. HTTP protocol. So what is the IP address? So IP address is default IP address 127.0 dot, sorry, HTTP colon double slash 127.0.0 0 or 1, or you can use localhost, or you can use local host colon. What is the port number? What is the port number? The server is running on port number called as 3000. So simply I can use 3000. So simply I can use 3000. So just enter. So you will get an output, that is welcome to Node.js. That is welcome to Node.js. Suppose for example, so instead of Node.js, so simple, I would like to write some header tag here. So something h1 within the h1. So I'll use something h1 again. Welcome message. Welcome to Node.js by type. Node.js by type. Okay. Save the file. So after saving the file, so just go to the browser and refresh. So I think the server should start up again. So cls, so Node.js app.js. So simple. Welcome to the file. Right. So welcome to Node.js by type. So simple, I'll write again multiple. So multiple header files. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. Simple, I'll write H2, I'll write H3, I'll write H4, sorry, H4, I'll write H5, and write H6. Okay, down to 6. Okay, H6, H5, H4, H3, and H2. Okay, so after all this, I will like to write break statements. I will like to write break statements. Break, 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 and break. Okay, we will see what is the output exactly, and restart the server, and restart the server. The server is listening on the port number. I will go to the browser and refresh. So this is the output. So welcome to Node.js. Welcome to Node.js. Welcome to Node.js. And this is header1 tag. This is h2 tag, and this is header3 tag, and this is header4, header5, and header6. So what is the main theme? What is the main theme? I'll close the server. So what is the main steps are involved in the writing the Node.js? So first of all, you should import the HTTP module. So first of all, you should import the HTTP module. So it is the core module of the Node.js. It is the core module of the Node.js. And by using HTTP, you should create the server. You should create the server. And after that, you may specify or you may not specify about the status code. Suppose let us assume and set header head. So we are sending the text or HTML. We are sending the text or HTML. So that is the reason why. So I have mentioned the header folder as text/HTML. I'm going to use the write method to bring the data to the browser. I'm going to use a write method. So response dot end response dot end. So just right? So coming to the point, so I would like to execute this program again. Just minimize this. Okay. Go to the terminal. Go to the terminal, and after that, so just type mode and app.js. So server is listening. Port number 3000. So I'll use localhost colon 3000. So these are the out. Suppose, for example, I'll use some localhost 2000. Localhost 2000. So it will not work because our program uses 3000. So if you try to use any port number, any other port, so it will not correct it efficiently. And we'll go open the command prompt and open type command ipconfig, and you can copy the IP address. You can copy the IP address. So I'll try to execute this. So we'll copy the IP address and IP address colon 3000. IP address colon 3000. This not a site not secure. Site not secure. So continue to site. So it will open the output. So site is not secure. So your connection is not secure. You should enter so sensitive information. So like site rating data. So you can use IP address also. And instead of IP address, so you can also use so localhost. So not localhost. So HTTP colon 120. So default IP address. So 127 HTTP double slash 127.0.0.1 colon 3000. So you can also use the default IP address. So this is how, so you have to execute the files. You have to execute the files from the Node.js server. So localhost you can use, as well as IP address you can use, as well as the default IP address also you can use. So anything is fine. So anything is fine. So if you want to change the port number, you can also change the port number. Suppose if I would like to write some port fives. So open and stop the server and restart the server. So it will not work now. So 3000 is not work. Or 3000 is not work. So this 3000 is not working. So like that. So we have used port number. So 5555. So this is about so sample first program in the Node.js. So I would like to write another program so which will display some another thing in. Okay. So I'll stop this. I'll delete this. Stop it and delete this. I'll go to. So I'll write something. Suppose. So my image suppose like so same app.js, same app.js. So constant. So we have to take a variable first. We have to take a variable first. So variable name can be anything. So I am importing the HTTP module. So I am using like suppose let us assume HM. So HTTP module. So require. So to import the module, so you need to use require and which module you are using. So HTTP module. HTTP module. So after that, so HTTP module dot HTTP module dot you can create the server. So for that also you can create a variable that is server. So let us assume server, and these servers can be created from the HTTP module dot create server function, and create server function contains so request and response. So request comma response. So this request is nothing but so incoming message object, and response is nothing but server response object. So by using these two objects, so we are able to process the data as a HTTP request and HTTP response. And coming to the response and followed by some arrow functions. So we can call it as arrow functions. We can call it as arrow functions. So I'll close the function. I'll close the function here. So request response. So request and response. Just a minute. Request and response. Request and response. Some arrow functions. Some arrow function. Arrow function. So yeah. So in this example, so we can use restart status code equals to 200. Second step, restart status code equals to 200. So next, restart set header. Restart set header. So there are two attributes. There are two attributes: content type, content type, content type, comma. So text slash HTML, text slash HTML. So next, rest dot write method you can use. Rest dot write method you can use. Rest dot write. So within the write method, so you can use a normal text like something. So we are in. So like so we are in. So Node.js program. So Node.js program. Node.js programming. So we are in Node.js programming. So also you can write write dot rest dot write rest dot write. So after that you can also mention so paragraph, some paragraphs you can use. So paragraph you can use. It is a runtime environment, runtime environment, runtime environment, environment for JavaScript code, JavaScript code, JavaScript code at server side, at server side, at server side. So next, response dot write, response dot write. So you can mention about unorder list. You can mention about unorder list also. I'm going to mention unorder list. So within the unorder list, I'm going to mention within the unorder list, I'm going to mention list here. I'm going to mention list here. Okay, list clause. List clause. So first one. So first one is what? Open source. Open source. And third one is that one. So next one is what? It's support. 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 API calls. Support API calls. The next one. NPM. NPM third party libraries. Third party modules. Third party modules. And after that, so response dot end. Response dot end. So next, server dot listen. Server dot listen. So port number the same. I'll continue with some 7,000. I'll continue with 7,000. 7,000 comma some empty object for the block flag or listening something. So arrow function and console. Sorry, console dot log. Console dot log. I can mention use IP address, use following use following server is running. Server is running on http colon double slash 127.0.0.1 colon 7,000. So just like information. Okay. And after that, and after that, I'll open the command prompt. So go to the terminal, choose the new terminal. So uh, I'll prefer command prompt instead of PowerShell. So this is nothing but importing the HTTP module. Importing the HTTP module. So I'll write importing the HTTP module. Importing the HTTP module. So this is nothing but so creating the server. This is nothing but creating the server. And this is nothing but mentioning mentioning the port name. Sorry, mentioning the status code. Status. So set the content of the website. Set content type of the web page. Web page. Content of the web page. And send the output. Send the output to the browser. Output to the browser or client. Browser or client. Browser or client. This is about is about ending the writing. Ending the writing response. Ending the writing response. Okay. So port number. Port number. So this is just log info. This is nothing but log information. Log information. Okay. So done. Done. So I'll save the file. Go to the terminal. So I'll continue with a new terminal. So I'll continue with command prompt. So you can also run PowerScript also. So as your wish, and just write node space app.js. So server is running on this link. So directly I click on the link. So 7,000. So we are in Node.js programming. So we are in Node.js programming. So which is runtime environment for JavaScript coded server side, and it is open source and it supports API calls and NPM third levels. So as it is output, so we got by using the Node.js. So this is what about the Node.js, and we have the file system also, and we have all the file system also, and express.js also. So to work with the file system, to work with the file system, so we need to configure, we need to install Express module. If I want to work with Express module, so we need to install Express module. If I want to work with the file system, so we need to install FS. Or simply, you see one example here. You see example here. So file system in Node.js. So file system in Node.js. So simply I'll open and copy the code here. Simply I'll open and copy the code here. Just a minute. Node.js. So require FS. So you can read the files, create the files, update the files, delete the files, and rename the files. So I'll take this example. I will take this example. So copy. So read file. So copy and paste here. No folder. Oh, sorry. Just a minute. Right. So as of now, SMS is not working properly. So we'll discuss later. So concentrate on the this Node.js header file, so text format as well as HTML format and flow. So once again, I'll discuss what is the flow exactly of the program. So just listen. Okay. So first step, so you need to import the module. You need to import the module, and the second step, you need to create the server. You need to create the server, and the third step, in the third step, you have to handle the response. You have to handle the response. That means you can write everything or something and etc. And after that, end the response, and end the response in the response. And the fifth one is uh, mention the port number. So mention the port number, and, uh, and finally start the server. And finally start the start the server. So in order to import the module, so as we know that, so we have the required keyword. We have the required keyword. So we use like http. So we use like http. So require, so import the module. So create the server from the import module. So we have we'll do one thing. We'll copy the same thing. So I'll use this terminal. Constant dot create something. Import the module, create the server, handle the response, and end the response. Mention the port and start the server. So node space file name, node space file name dot js. That means node space app dot js. Okay, so these are the steps involved in the node.js. Okay, right now. So this is our topic today. So node.js, which is used to run JavaScript code in the server side. Okay, so we will discuss next topic in the coming classes. Okay, thank you.